Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is a collective channel message for everyone here in the United States, at least. I had a astral travel last night, and I have to share. I think it's what's coming or what they're planning. So I was in this. It was like a shopping strip. And I was with my family, which I'm in no contact in real life. But I was with trusted people, and I had my own car, and I went to this one cafe, and I think I was like eating differently than everyone else, because my diet is different. And so I went to this cafe, and everyone at the cafe was super cool. And then I like went back out to the parking lot, and my car was gone. So I went back into the cafe because I had like made friends with them, and they were like closing up, and again, we're being friendly. But then I realized that they were closing up, and I wasn't like working there. But there was like a lot of other stuff that happened, and the channel message itself is that after I left the cafe, like after they closed up, I was walking because my car was, taken. And I ended up in this like facility that I can describe to you as like a large high school. So there were lots of rooms, right? Lots of hallways, lots of doors, and then people started chasing me, and it was like, there she is. And there was this one old woman who came and was like, oh, she has mono. She said her family declared her as she has mono. And so she needs to be quarantined. So then this like little kid and I don't know if it was supposed to be Niall in my dream. I really don't think he was my kid. But this little kid and I hid in this one little room. Like we ran away and hid, but then they found us. And then they took me out, and then like I remember looking back, and like the little kid was like peeing their pants because they were so nervous. And then I made myself wake up because I was like, what the fuck is this? So for me, I feel like that could be. I've never watched The Handmaid's Tale, but it was giving. I have seen enough critique and clips to understand. I never read the book either. Isn't it based on a book? But I feel like there was this. So it was like while I was running, there was this underlying thing because like all of the people from that cafe were like in this building, so it was giving very much like organized. So it was like everybody lived in this like high school building, and then they all had to go to work together in this strip mall, but they were completely surveilled, they were under control, and they didn't have like freedom the way that we've experienced up until this point, right? So I wanted to put this here. I do get premonitions, and they usually come years in advance. So I don't know if that's, I feel like this was a premonition. I've had lots of premonitions all over the globe, but this one, it was very obvious to me that this was going to be a reality here in the United States, or that's what they're shooting for. So, I'm not really into fear mongering, but I think at this point it's important that we share as much information as we can with others about the things that we're seeing. In 2017, I saw people being bussed. I saw Los Angeles getting raided. I told people around me that they were hunting, so that's been carried out at this point. And in that same time frame, I saw big warships on the coast of California, but I don't know what country those warships were. I don't know if those were U.S. Navy warships or if they were a foreign government or military. My guess at this point in time, and I think that I've mentioned the warships because we haven't really seen that yet. But again, that was back in 2017, so I don't. That's almost 10 years. That's 9 years ago that I saw those things, and they're just now happening. So for the time frame of what I saw last night, I'm not positive. But I wanted to make sure to get it out because I woke up and it was very clear to me that that was something I needed to share. What I will say is I'm watching V for Vendetta. I'm also watching what's happening all over the country, most notably in, right now it seems like Portland and Minneapolis are what is circulating the most. And I am continuing to prepare. In the beginning of last year, after inauguration, I turned my bedroom closet into a little bunker for my son. And so I just told him, there may be a time that mommy tells you to get in that closet. Keep the gay jokes out of it, please. It's not like that. We only have one closet in this house, and so it's the safest location. If I were to be killed, I would not want my son to witness that. Point blank, period. So he has toys and activities and a light in there, and so I just told him that you do not need to open your door, but these folks are completely rogue. There's no sort of protocol that it's being followed. It's just like balls to the walls, psychotic anger and violence. And it's being backed, but JD Vance said the other day after Renee Good was shot in the head was that whatever his name, Jonathan Ross, is that his name? He has full immunity from the government to carry out murder. So that's, we've seen these policies for forever when it comes to cops killing Black Americans or other, Black and brown people. And so, Renee Good being a white woman is, rattling the other white folks to step in and do something, right? People are finally able to see themselves in the victim. And I think that, there's a lot of dehumanization and rhetoric that has gone on for generations that has made it difficult for white folks to see themselves when Black and brown folks get killed. But and I think there's also going to be some significant othering because of her sexuality, right? There's going to be plenty of white folks who don't see themselves in that because she was a lesbian. Either way, that's not really the story or the concept I'm trying to get across. What I am saying is that it feels like it's pretty obvious that total control is what is wanting. Yesterday, wanted. I'm trying to make my thumbnail for this right now, sorry. And so I just wanted to share what I saw in my dream. I think it's really important to listen to people who have prophetic gifts. There's this native guy who always shares these really intense dreams that he has, and he just shared a dream the other day about a thick fog carrying viruses. I just saw that monkeys were released in Missouri. Was that Missouri? I think it was Missouri. There's like a random pack of monkeys. I don't know. It's giving very much, if you watch any, movies like 28 Days or Outbreak. Is Outbreak a title? Probably. We've already lived through COVID under the same presidency. So let's remember what that was like. I think it's important to get your houses in order. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, I did get a press patch for my bulletproof vest. It's not really a bulletproof vest, but it's a tactical. If a bullet came at me, I would probably be gone because it's just foam. It's not the actual bulletproof metal. But anyway, it makes me feel good. So better than nothing, I guess. But I did get a press badge instead of pretending to be one of the bad guys. And so one of the things I want to do though is I want to get a tactical or a fishing, caboodles if you're a woman, or a fishing caboodle, I don't know, the plastic thing with all the little slots. So I'm going to get a couple of those and turn those into some solid ass first aid kits for my community. I think that there's a lot happening. I think there's a constant need to do risk assessments, figure out where you're at on the risk hierarchy. What are the things that your identity is, what parts of your identity are being attacked by this regime, and what parts of your identity offer you privilege, and figure out what those are and be able to navigate that to the best of your ability. Figure out what you're willing to risk. If you're willing to, what are you willing to risk? Are you willing to die? Are you willing to stand up for your neighbors? The answer doesn't have to be yes. Everybody has their own reasoning for all of that. But we really are in these times. So yeah, that was my dream. Again, I can't tell you that this is gonna happen tomorrow, but I feel like this is the goal of this regime, is again total control, gaining land. It's pretty obvious that's the part of that too, and white supremacy, eugenics, practicing in population control. So, yeah, we know that, obviously, but this is the reality that we are here alive, living. If you feel like you need to leave the country, look into that. I think leaving is going to be a lot harder. They're taking away passports. So, yeah. Every so often I get a breeze within myself that I'm like, we should flee. But I don't think that's my calling. I think my calling is to be a leader in this time, against this shit. I've trained my whole adult life for this in different ways, learning about the system. But I do live in enemy territory, so I stick out like a sore thumb. But there are a lot more people coming here that aren't exactly aligned with the MAGA mentality, and there are enough red hats that are also changing their minds. So he's being destructive. I need to go see what that's about. But I wanted to share what I saw. So, yeah. Okay, bye. Have a good one.